Let's see if we're working. Looks like we're working to me. So, let's build some little tanks. Last week we unboxed this box on Sunday, and I thought it'd be fun to crack it open and build some of the little good guy tanks out of it. So we'll be on some of the Americans. So there's all kinds of weird tanks in here. I thought it'd be fun to kind of work with them together. I was getting set up for Dead Man's Hand, but if I'm completely honest, I don't have quite the energy to stream a whole game today, and all my training stuff just isn't 100% ready yet because the trees that I made are still kind of wet after I sprayed them with glue, because what's the word I'm looking for here? So I use like a spray Elmer's kind of PVA glue adhesive, but it's really freaking rainy here in Hawaii right now, so those trees are still kind of sticky and tacky and stuff like that. I really don't want to play with them until they dry out. So I figured we would build ourselves some little good guy tanks instead. Alright, so let's see. I think these are Russians. Yeah, I think. And these are also Russian. I don't know. Let's double check. It's one of the weird things about these like alternate settings. M18 Hellcat. Here we go. Okay, this is an American tank. Alright, M18 Hellcat. That one is this guy. So we'll build ourselves a Hellcat. My goal is to try to build like one of every kind from the box. Then we have a T-28, which is not that. It's a really big honkin' double track one. This one. That's the T-28. So weird to me to see American tanks with the T, because that's like something I associate with Russian tanks. And then we have the T-29 and T-30, which are this one, because this is the T-29, T-30, T-34. That's what that is. Okay. So we'll try to build one of each of those today. Alright. So, yeah, the anniversary of D-Day actually is coming up pretty soon. If I'm completely honest, I actually thought it was on Monday, but that's incorrect. It's not on Monday. It's actually not until June 9th. I thought it was like the end of May, but no, it's June 9th. So it'd be kind of fun to get like a World War II mini video set up for that. That would be pretty fun. Maybe make some rules up for one-page rules and play with some World War II guys and kill some fucking Nazis. Be pretty good. Seemed like that would be a good way to do something for that. I heard the Flames of War people, I think, are actually having a tournament at Normandy, which is really freaking cool. Just like a neat idea, you know what I mean? Bonk. Bonk. There we go. But yeah, so I was gonna play some Dead Man's Hand, but the my terrain is still sticky because those trees are sticky. And without the trees right now, because I don't have all the buildings done, I don't really have enough terrain to fill the table up, and it looks like kind of crappy and sparse. So I'll just wait a little bit, which is fine. My supposedly my 2-story building from Gale Force 9, actually not Gale Force 9, Great Escape Games, actually gets here after a month. Actually gets here next week, supposedly. So we'll see if that's true. Because that would be pretty cool. I'd like to get all the buildings done up. So I've been really enjoying working on the cowboy stuff, which is funny because it's usually cowboy stuff is usually not a setting I'm usually all about, but I'm really enjoying like turning them all into like Five Will Goes West style animal people. And honestly, working on the train has actually just been a ton of fun. Yesterday I did probably the most extra thing I've ever done. So if you notice, those windows are kind of hard to see through now. That's because I made myself a jig and actually cut a piece of clear plastic to go through those windows, and then coated it on the inside with Mod Podge so it has a distortion effect like old windows would. So you can see the coyote lady in there. Alright, so it looks like old, like kind of thick glass now, as opposed to just being able to see straight through the window. So completely unnecessary. You do not need to do that for your Great Escape Games, Wild West, Dead Man's Hand, Exodus, whatever buildings. But yeah, super been enjoying working on them. So because of that, I don't know, I was feeling a little extra yesterday, so I decided that, let me give it the razor blade. Oh! I was feeling like I would do the windows and be that little bit extra. And yeah, super happy with how it turned out. I think it adds a lot of neat personality to the windows. If you wanted to do it to your buildings as well, one, it's probably one of those things I'm never going to film because it was fiddly, right? A lot of it is me losing very thin, very tiny pieces of clear plastic and then having to find them. And the other part of it is that well, really, I guess that's the reason why I want to film it. There's really another part to that, but yeah, I probably wouldn't ever film it because of that. But I think it adds a lot. I think it's really neat. And I would 10 out of 10 recommend it if you really want to be like super mega extra with your cowboy buildings. But yeah, the double-decker building should be here next week after almost a month in transit. So that's pretty good. I took a exceptionally long time, and I'm not really sure why. Alright, let's see. How does this work? This... Okay. So it says attach that to that, but it doesn't give me any specifics for it. So maybe we can make it make more sense if we actually build it out of order. So let's try that instead. Alright, because these little tanks usually fit together like amazing. Like usually they have little tabs and they just kind of click together and are phenomenal. So the instructions being like YOLO, just glue it wherever is kind of weird. So maybe if we put it some other way, it'll make sense. Alright, so here's the inside part. Okay, look, it actually has a track here. See, really, it's weird it didn't make me glue it there first. Because that makes a lot more sense. There we go. But yeah, man, I've been crazy getting into the cowboy stuff from like a modeling perspective. I've got all these STLs for like cowboy style furniture now and all this stuff. Let's see, this guy then goes, well, I guess the backside goes this way. Yes, yes, yes. And you know that's true because the tabs are different. So one of these is a square tab and one is like a weird round tab. And they go in different spots. Okay, cool. So I'll glue that. But yeah, I really have been enjoying the cowboy stuff. It's been very different. Excuse me. And I've been enjoying the kind of the scale modelness of it, to be honest. Which sounds pretty weird. Oh, look at that. Okay, remember how it was like there's no tabs for these things? Yeah, there actually are tabs. Yeah. Interesting. See these little sorry, all you guys are getting is beard cam. I apologize. There's little tabs there on the inside. And the reason they didn't line up before is because I was trying to put the wrong track on the wrong thing. Just like that. Yeah, that's nice. So the fact that those exist also means that you can't put it on the wrong side. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, from making animal head STLs to all kinds of terrain printing and stuff. Just have had a wonderful, wonderful time with the cowboy stuff. I can't wait for the rest of my buildings to get here. I think a lot of it is, this is going to sound terrible, but I feel like terrain and stuff is one of those things that people get into as they get older. Like I think in the beginning, you know, being younger, I don't think you really care about that stuff. And then as you get older, you kind of like get really into like the spectacle of it and having everything match, and you know, that really speaks to you, I think. At least it does to me. You know, sort of like the historical stuff. Like I wasn't interested in historicals at all. And then just one day it was like, boom, oh, historicals are cool. You know, like where the hell did that come from? You know? Just kind of like out of nowhere. Yeah, I think it's definitely just part of like the wargamer life cycle. As silly as that sounds. Man, it's such a weird tank. 4 sets of fucking treads. So weird. Just this big flat driving cannon. Hello. But yeah, I think a lot of that kind of like spectacle stuff really does speak to wargamers as they get older, right? Same thing with like scratch bashing and like even a lot of the miniature, like the miniature kind of like, I'm gonna say miniature tabletop, but that's not what I mean. Like the little dioramas things like trains and stuff like that. Those have a lot of like same. What is the word I'm looking for here? Like same methods, I guess, right? So like I've been working on these trees for my Wild West table, and I've been doing it with a lot of like miniature train stuff. So like the trees are for miniature, like there's kind of like miniature displays and miniature trains and stuff, but they work perfect for wargame where you need realistic trees. But if you were like, go, I don't know. I guess I think it's interesting that sort of line kind of blurs together when you get into kind of like historicals and stuff, right? Like, I mean, I played Warhammer for years before I bought my first thing of clump foliage, or my first thing of turf, right? But I fucking love the turf now. Like I put it on like every single base of mine, right? Turf and little blocks of like static grass and like, oh, I don't know. I guess it's just, I feel like some of it really is like the natural progression of wargaming and getting older is kind of getting into that stuff. Oh. Oh. Alright, so I guess the ball goes on the outside, and then there's a lip at the top of this piece. And that, I think, has to plug in. Yeah, like that. See, it doesn't like 100%. Oh, no, I guess now it fits. Yeah, I guess I had some part on the back wrong. Okay. Well, historical stuff aside, Mantic Games is having, I think they still have some, I don't know. They're doing this thing called Crazy Box, where they sell you a box of a whole bunch of like, a whole bunch of sci-fi minis in like a blind box. And the box is, in theory, valued at like 4 or 5 times what you pay for it. And I don't know, you just get a whole bunch of sci-fi stuff. So I've got 2 of those coming. They get here on Wednesday. Just for kind of the fun. One, they're actually really cheap. And 2, just for the fun of like, I don't know, like unboxing it, I think will be really fun on the channel. Like I'm not going to open it up until I actually like get on camera, right? So I'm going to the doctor on Wednesday, so it should work out perfect. I should go to the doctor, get home, be able to stream that. It should work out really good. Like just like time wise. And it should be a fun time, right? Like it should be a good time. Alright, let me do a little bit of wiggle woggling. Give me 1 second. Alright. I want to move this, because see, I'm right-handed, right? So when I move my hand like this, it blocks the camera. Whereas if I had the camera on the left side, it wouldn't get blocked. So I want to move this camera to the other side, but the cabling for it is really strange, because this camera has to go through a capture card, whereas my other camera doesn't. So this camera doesn't have to go through a capture card. All right, so what I could do is I could actually just have you guys on this camera. So I don't know. Food for thought, I guess. I apologize. My brain's all over the place. This is what happens to me when I like run out of energy. My brain just starts bouncing around. I have been looking at new cars, and to be honest, that's taking up like what little energy I have after the end of the week. So I actually went and sat in one yesterday, and to be honest, like at one point I actually kind of like ran out of energy talking to the salesman, and I was like, shit. But thankfully my husband was there. Yeah, he is the best at helping out with things. He's just so good. And it's very handy, because I was like, my brain was running through all the sales stuff and then what to do with my car, and like just started going in this like crazy I don't know, this crazy flood of different ideas. And then I was like, shit, the salesman's just standing there and I haven't said anything. But you know, it is what it is. Just funny. Thankfully my husband, he got my back, but just amusing, you know. But yeah, been looking at different cars because my car is just getting really old, and I love my car. I've never really had problems with it, and it's got under 100,000 miles on it. I kind of feel like I should get a new one because it's getting old, and I'm worried there will be problems with it, and I don't know. You know, lots to think about there. All right, let's see. Ooh. How the hell does that go on? Okay. So when you put that piece on, there's a little lip at the front right there, and if it doesn't touch there first, it's going to fall inside. Just giving you a heads up that that's how that piece works. Yeah, weird tank, man. Look at it. This is like this weird little squash boy. It looks like something from a fucking 80s anime, you know? Alright, let's see. We got whatever these are. They go... Where the fuck do they go? It's telling me they go here on the very front, but I don't understand how they go on. Because there's no hole or anything for them. Alright, well, let's put on the pieces we know how they work, so let's do this first. So the 50 cal is going to go up here on the mantle to swing around. So he'll go up there. Ugh, and then, let's see, we got some treads here. Is there a front and back on the treads? There is. Okay. So when you go to put your treads on, they like very clearly feel a certain way. So if they're not incorrect, you'll definitely know. They kind of like pop into place, if that makes sense. You can 100% like feel it when it does it, so it's good. Really, all these tanks are fantastic little engineering. they have tons of little detail and stuff, and they're really, really cheap, right? Like that Clash of Steel box, you get 21, 23 tanks in it, and it's like $70. Like, that's fucking insane. Like, from a cost saving standpoint, like that's just absolutely mental, especially when you compare it to something like GW or something, right? Like just absolutely nutter. Shit. I do wish the Class of Steel stuff came with troops, but it's okay. It's entirely a tank game, so it probably really shouldn't have troops, because it wouldn't make any sense because the game's all tanks. But I like the big benefit to me for this kind of scale stuff is the fact you can do that combined arms stuff, right? You can have 100 troops on the table and 5 tanks, and the kind of stuff you wouldn't really feasibly be able to play in a game at the bigger scales, Okay. Like a lot of the interest I have in this stuff is really playing like essentially the big battles of like a bolt action campaign or something with the Flames of War stuff, and then when it gets into like the covert ops stuff, like doing maybe like Rogue Warriors or something, and then when it gets into like the regular battle stuff, maybe doing like one-page rules or something. Rogue Warriors does look neat. I was looking at some of the gameplay videos and like how-tos and stuff for that. It looks fun. The guy that makes it, he seems like a cool guy. The name of his YouTube channel is kind of scammy. I'm not super happy with that, but whatever. Right? Hate the game, I guess. Don't hate the player. Right, because he's got to make money on YouTube, so I understand that. All right, switching to the other cam. As these, so there she is, all put together. It's a really cool, like, fake-looking tank. It's pretty cool. And then these bits, I don't know where the fuck they go. Yeah, it says they go like right here, but I don't see any way for this to connect right there. It's got these marks there, but they don't do anything. What's it look like on the box? Oh. They face outward. Does that make more sense? Let's see if that makes more sense. I don't know if that makes more sense. There's all these little marks on the tank. So, see all the little marks there? I have no idea which one of these that fits into. And you see there's clearly little teeth, but they don't seem to fit around any of these. Maybe right there. But I think that might be, I don't think that's right there. Right? It does kind of fit there. Huh. They're let's see if there's some more pictures. Interesting. Okay. So they actually show them in different spots. See, like this one's got one facing forward and one facing sideways. The other one in the back has one facing forward and one facing sideways. But they go in the inner kind of working. So they go like in here. What weird things. Like, I can see them in the fucking picture, but I still do not understand how they attach. So they really don't fit anywhere. Right? Because, like, there's clearly markings. Like, maybe that's how it's... But even that doesn't fit. Yeah, it's so weird. Because, like, see it? See you? Forward and sideways, forward and sideways. What do we have here? We have a Pershing. G28. Okay, we got a bunch of pictures here. So weird. What a weird little piece. Maybe these are brackets and they're supposed to sit on top of it, maybe? Because they don't fit inside anywhere with these brackets. So maybe these are actually supposed to be the connection points and they sit on top of them, maybe. That's the thing that I guess makes the most sense to me. Looking at the pictures and stuff. What part these are even of the tank? I have no idea. So weird. Alright, we'll put them on how I think is the most right. But, man, all these tanks, they usually like just click together like nobody's business. But, this piece is very strange. These weird little optional like bracers. Yeah, that's really weird. Like almost like weird ass toe pieces. Strange. Not a cool tank though. Very low profile, very like murder box. It kind of looks like a battle bot if I'm honest. Alright, let's see what else we got. We'll keep our rules handy in case we need them. Oh. You know, I really want to build one of those Wolverines, to be honest. Or the Hellcats. I would like to build a Wolverine too, but they don't come in the box. Alright, that's the wrong one. Because I actually have a 28mm Hellcat to build. There we go. Man, I totally got derailed by like 2 bizarre ass optional pieces on 1 tank. Now this guy we're going to have to magnetize. But we can figure that out, no trubs. We're just going to look at how the turret works before we glue this top down, that's all. So we're actually going to build the turret first. So, because I do like to magnetize these little tanks. One, because I am just fucking obsessed with magnets, and 2, because I with the pegs that they get, I feel like they kind of like scratch around the turret ring a little bit, and I really like to be able to change the turret position. That's one of those things that's I think is very fun to do. I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. I like spinning little turrets. So because of that, I want them to be magnetized. It does mean they end up sitting tiny bit higher than they probably should, but I'm okay with that. I don't care about that. It would probably give some rivet counter like a fucking like aneurysm, but I think it's fine. Alright, so let's see. Our base turret here is going to go like that. So let's put those 2 pieces together, and then we'll see how it connects to the top. So what I'm assuming is I can just pop little magnets down into the pieces and get ourselves a nice magnet on magnet action. There we go, just like that. And then shoop, just like that. Yeah, I think that should be fine, to be honest. We should be able to get magnets that fit in those holes, and they should just be able to go cloop, just like that, and be good. So don't gotta worry about that right now. I think that'll be fine. You do want to check it before you glue the tanks together though, like if you do want to magnetize them and stuff, because you might want to put magnets in it before you seal it up. But in this case, I don't think that's necessary. There we go. And then this guy's going to go right there. Going to get rid of this nub. Just like that. But yeah, so this room where I film, that light behind me is really bright today, isn't it? This room where I film, this is my like craft room. It's kind of my escape from reality room where I don't have to think about things, you know? Let me rephrase that. Where I try my damnedest to not think about things. Because me not thinking about things is basically fucking impossible. So that's where I try my best not to. I'm actually in the process of redoing this room, which is really cool. So I actually have a tool rack now that I put up on the wall, which is pretty cool. And then I modified this paint rack I got from a store secondhand when they were going to get rid of it. I modified that by clipping off 2 of the racks out of the 5, or out of the 6, I guess, and it works perfect for all my paints now. So if your store is going to get rid of like a paint rack like that, 10 out of 10 would highly recommend doing something similar, because that holds, that's literally all the paints I own on that rack right now. And they're nice and easy to see, and it's fun to look through them, all that kind of stuff. So like 10 out of 10, like redoing that paint rack is just, it's been stellar. Oh, this nub here is actually a nub. It really looks like it should be like part of the tank, but it's not. Okay. All right, it's the body of the Hellcat. Nice and easy there. It's interesting, it doesn't have a pintle or a front-mounted machine gun. Alright, now let's see. We got a lot of the... Oh, this one's got a bunch of stowage on it. Ooh, fancy. We got some of the inner workings, because this is one of those open top howitzer type tanks. The fun thing is this kind of tank would never exist anymore today, just because top-down rockets would fucking wreck it. And then let's see, we got these guys here on the side. Okay. And then there should be a piece, there it is, for the barrel to go into. And it does look like this Hellcat has an alternate barrel. So there's one with fluting and one without. That's kind of interesting. We'll pick the one with the fluting because it just looks cooler. There we go. The funny thing is, doing these, right, like I've never built any of these tanks before. This is my first time, obviously, because I got delayed for 20 minutes on where to put those weird-ass tow hooks. But the neat thing is that, like, once you get the hang of how that tank goes together, like I could probably build the other version, or the other one of that, in probably in like 5 minutes now, because I built that one. These little tanks are really good for that, because the pieces, like, conceptually actually all make sense. You just kind of have to understand what the pieces are, right? And when you're a person like me and you don't, you have to build one first. Which, I mean, is probably fair, right? Like, everybody's probably really needs to build one before they could rock and roll and just roll them out, you know? Such a neat tank. Okay, then we got this guy. And we got our barrel right in there. I'm not going to put the tab in this one because I will do it with magnets. Actually, you know what? I think we'll work on the magnets for this over build the other tank. I think that might be more interesting, to be honest, for people than building the other tank. So okay, so there's little indications there. Oops, sorry, probably can't see that very well. Yeah, there's little indentations there. And they hold our stuff. And it looks like these are supposed to go down. Oh, maybe they don't go in the little indentations. Yeah, I guess they don't. Interesting. They go underneath of it, these things do. Okay. There's a little tab in the turret where the tab on this is supposed to sit. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Man, a lot of these tanks have gone together a lot easier than these ones. I feel like this is the box of the hard to assemble tanks. Not that these are particularly hard to assemble. I mean, they're still very easy to assemble, but like the Panther and stuff kind of just clicked together like a dream. There wasn't any like oddity with it. Well, I guess that's not actually any kind of armor or anything. I think that's actually just for holding gear. These things are. It's kind of cool. Just like give them like a place to throw shit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So there she is without any of the stowage in her. And then she gets... Not that sprue. There it is. We've got a machine gun. So we got ourselves a 50 cal. We've got that spare barrel. And then I'm going to put the spare barrel to the side, and then I'm going to pop out these pieces here. These are the turret spinner, if you want to use that. But I'm going to do it with magnets instead. And I think we'll actually work on that instead of building the other tank. And then we get a whole bunch of stowage. So we got a whole bunch of bags, what looks like a bedroll thing, like a tarp, and then we got some extra track. And if you ever want more stowage for your tanks, if you go onto Thingiverse, there is a project on there called the Ultimate Stowage Project. And it has tons and tons and tons of tiny little stowage pieces, like boxes and bags and machine guns. And so the like the machine guns and stuff that I got from my Panther and all are all from them, and it's totally free, which is really nice. So if you wanted a little like MG34 to go on top of your Panthers or something, you could go and get one from there. There we go, and then oh, that's all rack. That's interesting. And these just slide down in here, right? Yeah. That's cool. Oh, a cool tank. the Hellcat. I was gonna say, I wish tanks like that. I wish tanks still had cool ass names like that, but they actually do. Like all the German tanks, like they still have cool names, like the Leopard and all. Oh yeah, you got a little stowage there. Also, you can not be like me and don't put your barrel in upside down. That's what I just did there. I just fixed the fucking barrel because it was upside down. And then we got some more little stowage here. So it looks like, yeah, there's a stowage rack here on the front for track. There we go. And then back of this thing, I got a bunch of what looks like hook and eyes for stowage, which is really cool. And there's one there. And then I guess we can put this one here on the side. Probably not where it's supposed to go, but I think it'll look cool. Nice. So that's a little Hellcat all put together. It's a cutie little tank. I like it. Hello! How are you? We're building little tanks. I was going to play Dead Man's Hand, but I am way too low energy for that. Alright, so that's the Pershing. Here's one of them here. That's one of the Hellcats there. That one doesn't have... No, that's not a Hellcat. That's something else. That's a Hellcat back there. But that one doesn't have the side racks that we just put on ours. Nice. Doing good is good, man. I mean, sometimes that's what you got. Sometimes you can just keep on keeping on. You got the that's a T30. There's the Pershing. Super Pershing, Easy 8, and the Jumbo. The Chaffee. The Chaffee's a really modern looking tank. Yeah, I like little tanks. They're really fun. They actually have one of these out here in Honolulu. If you wanted to see one in person, they have one at Fort something. The fort down at like the tip of the island has one of these. If you want to see it in person, which is pretty cool. They have a Chaffee. Jackson. To be honest, that's a pretty fucking ugly tank. There's our Hellcat. There she is. Alright. Let's see. I was kind of hoping for more pictures of how they did the stowage, but it's okay. And there's the side panel of all the American tanks. There's our little Hellcat down there, and there's the big T-28 that we built too. Nice. Okay, cool. So I guess that's so there's the T-28. I got a little bit of a gap actually in it, so I'm gonna fix that real quick. Just a little bit of glue down in the hole will fix the gap. Yeah, this was a cool tank to build. I still don't 100% know what these are, but cool tank nonetheless. Alright, so let's magnetize this sucker. You ever hear of Tonks? It's a tabletop game where you build a tank and then attack each other. So it gets fun, like a 5-minute 1 versus 1. Yeah, Tonks is legit. Tonks and... I literally just had it. Where did it go? There it is. Oh, Tonks is from the guy that made this. Strike that, reverse it. This is from the guy that made Tonks. Apocrypha now. So this is the basically like the robot version of Tonks from Bill making stuff. I did a video a while ago where I kit bashed a bunch of Gundams for this, but I still haven't actually played it. But it's really cool. It's super good stuff. But yeah, Tonks is super cool. Very, very fun. Yeah, I'm excited to play this. I've never actually played Tonks, but I'm looking forward to doing Bangarang in the Gutterlands. Alright, so let's find the magnets that'll work for this. So, let's see. I got a whole bunch of rando fucking magnets. We're looking for... So, this inner ring here has to connect up. Bill is swell. Yeah, I like his YouTube channel a lot. He's really cool. A lot of his I don't know, a lot of his videos have like all this crazy personality and like video editing and stuff, which is really cool. It's one of those things that I would probably, to be completely honest, I would never have the energy to do. But I appreciate that. I don't know, that he does it, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm really low energy. I apologize. Can you hold that book up again? Da-da-da-da. Yeah, it's really cool. And the art in it is fantastic. And Bill did it all, I think. Or Bill Making Stuff did it all. And like the layouts and stuff are really good. I do a lot of accessibility work, so from an accessibility standpoint, it kind of makes me want to die. But it looks really cool, at least. You know, so that's cool. And it's got the really cool chart. You can actually download... I have a digital version of this that I got for free. I think around Christmas. I think it's still free. I don't know. Alright, so that magnet right there, that is a 5x1, and it fits perfect in the little turret hole. So we're going to be putting one of those in there. And then in here in the top, you can see there is 2 different holes. This outer rim, that is this rim right here. So when I put the turret on, I need to make sure that my magnet doesn't touch that rim. So I have to find one that fits. Yeah, sometimes when you buy the 5x2s on Amazon, like I do, like see that one fits perfect. They're actually kind of like fat, and they kind of like overhaul the side. Sorry, oh, hold up. Sorry for distracting you. Oh no, it's fine. I'm happy to have someone to talk to. It's cool. Alright, so we're going to glue that magnet down, and we're going to give that a minute then. Actually, let me grab one of my other US tanks. Ugh. Alright, so I got little US tank here. There we go. Beep beep. Boosh. I just want to, you can see this guy's using really tiny little magnets. So he's using 3x1s. I just want to make sure I magnetize it the right side. Not that I ever intend to put a Sherman turret onto a Hellcat, but in case I wanted to. As I randomly drip super glue on it. There we go. Okay. That's going to sit for a couple of minutes, because then our goal from there is to get this to sit, and we want it to sit just a millimeter like that above the turret. Yeah, so the pegs these come with actually do a good job, but I'm always scared that they're going to like scratch the paint in the turret ring, right? I'm always scared of that. So because this here is all the turret ring, right? Like the actual tank, this would all be open, or most of it would be open. So yeah, a little gap is okay, but you don't want a massive gap because of that. All right, so I need a very thin one, even if it's a thin by one, because I don't want a big gap in there. So this is a 3x1 if I can get apart, which I can't. Ay, ay, ay. All right, looking for a 3x1. There we go, 3x1. All right, so if I put a 3x1 on top of it, like that, and see if it's the right height. Which it's not. See, it's a really big height there. Actually, you know what? That's actually not. That's pretty bad. Maybe I actually wanted to use a smaller magnet on the inside, maybe. Instead, maybe I screwed that up. Yeah, maybe this magnet is just too thick. So my bad for gluing that down already. You can watch as I fuck the magnets up. I love magnets, man. There we go. Yeah, so that magnet fits perfect, but like, I do think it's probably too thick. So, yeah, it's too thick. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot of glue here on the top. If I had thinner 5x1s, this would be perfect, but I don't have those. All the 5s I have are 5x3s or 5x2s. So I'm just going to dot that there in the middle. Get it as close to the center as I can. All right. And then I think oh, I do have a skinny one. Holy shit, I do. Look at that. Well, that's perfect. I mean, I gotta get it to face the right way, but it's exactly what I want. Because then that will sit like that, and that's perfect. So, come on. Do you have an Instagram? Yes, I do. It is the same name as my channel. I put up pretty much everything I paint on there, more or less. I tend to do a lot of like work in progress style photos more than completed photos. Right now it is a lot of Wild West Exodus. So a lot of what I'm calling bullets and badgers. which is like Fievel Goes West inspired Animal People Wild West. So we got like a badger with some dynamite and a pistol there. Got another fox. Got a fox gunslinger. I've got a raccoon, like bright colored bandit. Let's see. I've got a squirrel. There's a squirrel. Here's a coyote. Who's like kind of more ethnic kind of clothes. So I imagine there'd be a lot of like immigrants and stuff coming in to work on like the railway or in the mines or whatever. But yeah, I've been working on that a lot on there. And lots of terrain buildings. So like this is one of the buildings from Dead Man's Hand. I actually just put little windows in so that the glass is kind of obscured. So like if I take the fox lady and put her inside there, it actually looks like there's like old style like thick glass in there, which is pretty cool. But lots of Wild West stuff. Yeah, I like the raccoons a lot. So I got that one, and I've got this one. So they're pretty fun. But yeah, I was going to play that today, but honestly, I just don't have the energy to play a game today. So instead, we're building little tanks. Alright, let's see if she's dry. Da-na-na-na. Beep, beep, beep. Boom. 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 So yeah, there she goes. Now, last thing I want to do for these guys. That's obnoxious. There we go. I glued one of the magnets to my table apparently. But the last thing I want to do for these guys is actually put them on bases. So it drives me insane when things don't have bases. So I like to always put stuff on bases. So I've got these bases here that I 3D printed. These came off Thingiverse too. If you search like Flames of War bases, you'll find them. Where did you get the heads? The heads are actually made from miniatures from Goon Master Games. The heads and the tails are actually from miniatures from Goon Master Games. I took those miniatures that they made and I actually cut the heads off in Mesh Mixer and then shrunk them down. So if you wanted to do the same thing, you would print them at 50% for the ladies and 60% for the dudes. And yeah, that's what I did. If you want otter heads, which I also have printed, but they're out back curing right now, or fox heads that aren't these fox heads, if you wanted different fox heads, you could get them from Duncan Shadows. Duncan Shadows does those. He does otters and foxes, and I know that because I printed out a billion different of his little otter heads for my space otters. So yeah, so that's my space otters, and they came from Duncan Shadow. But yeah, Goon Master Games, I just cut them off in Mesh Mixer and then shrunk them down at 50% for the ladies and 60% for the dudes. And I got bunnies, squirrels, foxes. Hold on, let's see. I've got badgers, foxes, squirrels, raccoons, weasels. And bunny too. I gotta grab a bunny. Here's the bunny. The ears broke off, so she got crappy sculpted ears instead. So yeah, and then Outback curing right now, I have otters and something else. Rats, maybe? Maybe rats? I really wanted like a puma mountain lion kind of character, but that's not going to happen, so I have not been able to find one of those. Alright, so back to our bases. So these are little bases from Thingiverse that I printed out. They are extremely thin. That means that they print out like lightning fast. That one's good. Yeah, these two are both good too. They print out like insanely fast. And they also don't raise the vehicle up that much, which I'm a big fan of. Especially at these smaller scales. I don't want like a giant base. Yeah, the hats came from the actual sprue with the North Star military figures, like cowboy sprue. I just cut the head out of it and put the hat on. So that one's got a hat. This kind of red squirrel here he's got a little hat on the side. This badger's got a hat. They kind of sit a little high, but I don't know. I think it makes them cute. So, yeah. Yeah, I've got a bunch more to paint, but their heads are out back curing right now. So, yeah, it's fun. It's been a really fun project. All right, so let's see. We'll use these. They're kind of like credit card thickness, but they work really good for these little tanks. And because they're plastic from my FDM printer, they work with plastic glue. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Just like that. And then we are also going to put a base on the big one too. There we go. So, and then put a base on the big guy. Because he just barely fits. Oh my god, he just barely fits. There we go. Yeah. There he goes. So he'll be the biggest tank I have for the US. The biggest one I have for Germany right now is a Jagdtiger, but he's not painted fully yet. He's got a ways to go still, but that's a Jagdtiger next to it. If you wanted to see the size comparison there of one of Germany's biggest tanks and the biggest US tank that actually never got into the war. Whew. And then here's the Hellcat versus the Sherman, which is pretty cool. And if you wanted to see it versus a Panther, there it is versus a Panther. And then a Jagd Panzer IV as well. So pretty cool big tanks. Pretty good stuff. Thanks for the Thingiverse tip. Okay, have to clean the garage. I'll keep watching and listening. Away from keyboard for a spell. Okay. But yeah, that's our tanks for today. I think I'll probably call it there because, man, I am dragging really hard. Alright. Got a little bit of hobby done. And it'll be fun to get these painted up. I mean, most of the US tanks just become green. But they all have a really cool military look to them, which is fun. It does make one of the reasons why the German tanks are more fun to paint is because you do get to do weird colors and stuff. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good one. And keep on keeping on.